Got the door open.
And just to bear in mind, the mayor has just offered that he's currently going back to the address, so he cannot give more details.
Police, hello, anyone in?
He's on the phone, they're really struggling.
Okay,
Honestly, there's only one person linked to the address on both, is Ian Sleep. That doesn't match the name.
Police, hello?
On August 10, 2023, Surrey police received a call from a panicked father. The father, URFAN Sharif, was at an airport in Pakistan where he had fled after brutally murdering his beautiful 10-year-old daughter. After the call, police rushed to the man's home in Woking, a town in Surrey, England. In a bedroom at the top of the stairs, police found the body of his little 10-year-old daughter, Sara Sharif, on the top bunk bed under the covers. Next to the pillow was a note in her father's handwriting in which he said he had beaten and killed his daughter. Viewer discretion is advised on this case because we will be discussing the brutal torture of a little girl. URFAN Sharif was a Pakistani taxi driver who moved to the UK in 2003. He had moved to the UK on a student visa from Pakistan to study business management in London. Then in 2009, he married Olga Domin, a Polish-born immigrant. Sara Sharif was born January 11, 2013 in Berkshire. Before Sara was even born, the family was already known to police and children's services. Records show police were involved 4 different times between 2010 and 2013. These incidents involved Sara's older siblings, known as Z and U, for their protection. In 2010, 3-year-old Z was found alone in a store. Also that same year, Z had a handprint bruise on her back. In 2011, Z told teachers, "Daddy hit me." And the following year told them, "Mommy hit me." Also, the child was found with a burn mark and was again discovered alone in public, this time in Woking Town Center, about half a mile from the family home. It's a long ways. Social workers recorded unexplained injuries to Z and U. Then there was an incident in 2013 when Z was burned by an iron. When social workers visited their home, they found no light bulbs or bedding for these little children in their bedrooms. So at birth, Sara was made the subject of a child protection plan. Sara's mother, Olga, was abused by URFAN too. He locked Olga inside of a room, attempted to set her on fire by pouring oil all over her body, and strangled her with a belt. Sara was first taken into foster care for a short period in November 2014, when she was almost 2, after Z complained of being bitten very hard by Olga and pinched and punched by URFAN. After social services arrived at the home, they noticed what looked like cigarette burns on both Sara and U. Their mother and father said they were just chickenpox scars. Social workers described Sara as just very small and reported that she doesn't eat a lot and doesn't respond to being carried, like she didn't wrap her legs around the person that was carrying her, like usually a child does. Sara was reported to have some disturbed behaviors, which included standing facing the wall and was said to be fearful of returning to her parents. Yet, she was returned to her parents. After an initial period in foster care in late 2014, Sara, who had still not yet turned 2, returned home with U. However, Z never went back to the family, instead remaining in care. I'm not sure why they would return 2 back. Made no sense to me. The following year, Sara was briefly in foster care again, this time when her mother left the family home alleging domestic violence. The couple separated in 2015 and later divorced, after which the children lived with Olga. Before URFAN split up with Sara's mother, he actually met another woman named BATOOL, who was a customer at his taxi business. He was 33 and she was a vulnerable 20-year-old that was isolated from her family and struggling financially. In 2019, in order to get the children back from their mother, URFAN recorded a video that showed Sara saying her mother mistreated her. In the video, Sara said her mother had tried to drown her and burn her with a lighter. She also said that her mother had slapped her, pinched her, and pulled her hair. It is not clear if he had encouraged Sara to say those things about her mother. This led to a court order for Sara to live with her father, although Olga still had equal rights. Olga initially saw Sara regularly, but was later told by Sara's new stepmother, BEINASH, not to visit because she didn't want to see her. She didn't like her. By this time, Sara's father and new stepmom were living in a small ground floor flat in West Byfleet, and Sara started going to the local St. Mary's primary school. Teachers at Sara's school would describe Sara as an absolute chatterbox. She had a beautiful smile and was so full of energy. She loved to be on stage singing and performing. She wanted to be on the TV show X Factor when she grew up. They said when she grew up, she also wanted to be a ballet dancer. Not to mention she was a gorgeous little girl. She's just beautiful. Just look at her pictures. Just unbelievably beautiful. She had such a future ahead of her. When this video was recorded, Sara was beaten black and blue under her clothes with open burn wounds on her buttocks and ankles. But yet she was still doing her best to have fun. Still doing her best to be a child. She had already had a tough life, but her abuse would only escalate. 5 months after Sara started living with her father and new stepmom, BEINASH messaged her sister to say that URFAN was beating the children. She went on to tell her sister repeatedly that URFAN had beat the crap out of Sara and even sent her pictures of Sara's injuries. Over the next 2 years, she sent her sister frequent messages about URFAN beating the crap out of little Sara, leaving her covered with bruises all over her body and unable to walk. She claimed that one night URFAN kept Sara up all night doing sit-ups. And in one text message to her older sister, she described URFAN as a psycho. In another message, she said she had to push him out of the way to save Sara. She texted her sister she's covered in bruises, literally black and blue, adding, "Poor girl can't walk. She's literally fainted in the kitchen in the morning." And then he made her do sit-ups all night. Neither BEINASH nor her sister called the police or social services, though. Sara was treated as a bit of a servant, according to a neighbor. She could always be seen doing chores around the house, such as pegging out the washing and looking after the other little children. The neighbor said, "I never saw her smile. I never saw her running, laughing, or anything in the garden with the other children." A teacher noticed cuts and bruises on Sara's neck and face. Sara told her that she had fallen from her bike. A referral was sent into social services when bruises continued to appear on this little girl. Yet 6 days after receiving this referral, Surrey County Council closed the investigation. One of Sara's neighbors heard screaming, constant crying, and banging coming from that home. The neighbor also heard a rattling of what sounded like maybe a locked door and screaming, but never reported any of these weird sounds. In a home video filmed in July 2022, URFAN is seen sitting on a bed playing with her newborn, and Sara's sitting on the bed too, and there's a mark on her cheek. And in the video, he slaps her, but she continues smiling. Then URFAN slaps her 3 more times until she says, "Hey." In January 2023, Sara had begun wearing a hijab to carry up her bruises at school, but still, her teachers noticed marks on her face and referred her to social services in March. But the case was dropped within days. A neighbor found it unusual that Sara was actually the only member of her large extended family that lived at that address to be dressed in a hijab. In April 2023, the family moved to a house in Woking. Fazil Malik, Sara's uncle, had been living with the family for about 4 months by this point, and he also moved into this new house that the family moved into. From this moment, Sara never went back to school. Her father wrote an email to St. Mary's saying that his daughter was going to be homeschooled now. Even with all the calls made to social services in the past, the family was allowed to homeschool. The abuse continued to escalate. URFAN forced Sara to do sit-ups all night because she allegedly hid his keys, and also made Sara put her hands in the air after beating her. BEINASH tied the 10-year-old's hands behind her back with tape for being naughty. BEINASH also slapped Sara after she had allegedly injured some of the other children. According to URFAN, BEINASH would blame Sara for everything. In May 2023, another message about Sara from BEINASH to her sister read, "He beats her up like crazy. Her oxygen level dropped really low. She's finding it hard to stay awake. She's breathing really, really rapidly. In the last few months of her life, she was bitten, branded on her bottom with an iron, and hooded with plastic bags held in place by packing tape. URFAN admitted hitting her with a cricket bat and beating her with a white metal pole that was part of a high chair. He also hit her over her head with a mobile phone. Yet while URFAN was burning Sara across the buttocks, he had the other children hold her down. He burned her across the buttocks with an iron. I can't imagine the pain. Hours before Sara's death, he beat her so hard with the cricket bat, it broke her little spine. Hot liquid had been poured over both feet. Finally, Sara's body could handle no more. She took her last breath, and they attempted CPR. On August 9th, the previous day before Sara's body was found, the family left Sara's dead body laying in that home alone and traveled to Pakistan to stay with URFAN's brothers and sisters. It was about an hour after the plane landed that URFAN actually called the police.
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and tell me what's happened.
I cannot. I physically punished my daughter and she died. I left home in a panic. God, she is allowed at home.
I need you to take a breath because I cannot understand what you're saying, okay? Your daughter has died.
I killed my daughter. I killed my daughter.
Okay.
Hello?
Okay, don't worry.
Nobody's at home. Hello?
Hello, I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still here.
You send someone there. I left my front door keys under the front mat.
Okay.
My daughter is dead. Panic, I left her.
Who's killed your daughter?
It's me.
Okay.
Father.
How?
I said she was naughty. I physically just died.
I'm going to need you to slow down, okay? How have you killed your daughter?
I beat her up. It wasn't my intention to kill her, but I beat her up too much.
Okay, what happened? What led to this all happening?
I think she was naughty over the last 3-4 weeks, and I was giving her punishment that she to sort her out. I did something and she died.
Was she breathing when you left?
No, she was not. I tried to resuscitate her, tried to give her CPR, everything, but I failed. I left in panic.
Okay. Was she bleeding anywhere?
No.
Okay.
She's dead, I'm telling you.
What injuries did she sustain? How long ago was this? How long ago? When did this happen? I need you to listen to me, okay? When did this happen?
About 36 hours ago. So
This happened 36 hours ago.
Yes. I'm a cruel father. I'm gonna come
Where
back,
are you
but
right now?
I'm not alone. I'm gonna come back.
So you're driving right now?
I'm driving. I'll come back.
Police started a high-profile search for the family across Pakistan, deploying multiple teams after they had found Sarah's little body. They suspected a relative of URFAN of helping them, but during multiple raids on his property, they failed to find the family. The family had hidden in cornfields when police raided this man's home at night. The children were found at URFAN's dad's home, but the 3 adults could not be located anywhere. URFAN's dad had actually convinced them to fly back to England and turn themselves in. They made a video first.
Coming forward and presenting ourselves. There are a couple of things I would like to address. Firstly, I would like to talk about Sara. Sara's death was an incident. Our family in Pakistan are severely affected by all that is going on. They are harassing my extended family. They have also illegally raided many more of my family members' homes. We have already approached our lawyer, and our lawyer is representing us in Rawalpindi High Court. The next court hearing is on 19th September 2023. My main concern is that the Pakistani police will torture or kill us. That is why we have gone into hiding. Lastly, we are willing to cooperate with the UK authorities and fight our case in court.
After flying back to receive punishment for what they had done, URFAN began to blame Sarah's death on his wife, even though he had admitted in both a letter that he had wrote and a phone call that he had killed her. Sarah's uncle and stepmom only would say no comment in their interview and refused to testify in court.
Please, could you introduce yourself? What's your name?
So my name is BATOOL.
And you are about to be interviewed for the offence of murder. What's your understanding of murder? What's your understanding of that offence?
Killing someone.
Yeah. Okay, so it's intentionally killing somebody. Okay, in very simple terms. Okay, that's the offence for which you've been arrested for, and that's the offence for which we're going to speak to you about. All right. What happened to Sara?
No comment.
What did you see?
No comment.
Whose choice was it? How you left Sara?
No comment.
Do you love Sara?
No comment.
Did you care about her at all?
No comment.
Sarah's body had more than 70 new injuries when she was found. She suffered puncture wounds, burns, bruising, and abrasions, and a postmortem examination found Sara had probable human bite marks, an iron burn, and scalding from hot water. Sara had a gaping puncture wound to her head, as well as signs of being hit by an elongated object below her belly button. She also had 11 fractures to her spine. Spinal fractures are very rare and usually caused by high-impact or high-speed trauma, such as road traffic incidents. There was also a fracture to Sarah's hyoid bone in her neck, which could have been caused by her being strangled. She also had finger and wrist fractures that had happened between 12 and 18 days prior to death. 29 fractures total in different bones scattered around her body. Inside the home where Sarah's body had been found was Sarah's letters and notebooks. She had wrote a letter to her dad and stepmom saying, "Sorry for being rude," and answering back, "Please forgive me. I am so sorry." In a birthday message to her father, Sara wrote, "I love you so much. Thank you for looking after us on the weekends and making food for us at the weekends. Thank you, Dad," from Sara. "Our family is the best in town," she goes on to say. "We spread love all around the world." Her notebook also contained a short fairy tale about a queen called BEINASH and a princess called Sara. It's heartbreaking. Sara also described her stepmom as the best caring and loving mother in the world. After her death, her body had actually been jet sprayed in the backyard by this couple. Sara's soiled leggings and diapers were discarded in the garden near a jet wash with the tapes and hoods that they had made her wear in the bin. She had been wearing a diaper so they didn't have to untie her for when she needed to go to the bathroom. They didn't want to untie the little girl. They want to continue to beat her. They didn't want bathroom breaks to interrupt this. They had changed her into clean clothes before they left her on that bed alone in that home and fled to Pakistan. Sarah's death could have been avoided if the system had not failed her. There were plenty of signs and warnings that Sarah was being hurt, yet she was given back to this family, or either never taken away to begin with at times, even though they could prove that she was being abused and said they'd give them classes, which they didn't complete. They gave her family chance after chance to continue hurting her and even allowed them to homeschool her after being fully aware of the abuse she had suffered in the past. Both her father and stepmom were found guilty of murder, while her uncle was convicted of causing or allowing a child's death. It's just heartbreaking that this little girl had to go through so much in her short little life. May you rest in peace, little Sarah. My little granddaughter's making a rare appearance. I'm babysitting her today. Here's Simo. They're here to say bye-bye. Bye-bye. She's looking at Simon. She loves Simon so much. Tell him bye-bye. Bye-bye. You see yourself on camera? There's Max, too. Max says bye, too, don't he? Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Grammy loves you so much. No, Smiley. Let's see if I can get you a smile. Let me see if Grammy can get you a smile. There she is. Let's see if Grammy gets you a smile. Grammy love you. Simon loves his baby so much. He loves his baby. So does Max, but Max licks her too much. All right, we'll see y'all next time at the Murder She Said. You probably won't see Willow anymore. She's a rare appearance girl, aren't you? Because I don't like to put her on video. I just wanted to give y'all a peek sneak. Yes. Let's go.